Hello and welcome to the White Collar Fitness Radio, the ultimate podcast for professionals striving to achieve optimal performance in today's fast-paced age. I'm your host, Bruno Delladoni, online body transformation specialist and founder of the Health Coach Fitness. I'm here to help you optimize your health and fitness, even if you're short on time. Welcome back, guys, to the podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing how you can use your mind to maximize your gains. And we're going to start with just a quick note on multitasking. Now, I know all the girls out there listening to this are going to be like, I can multitask. Sorry, ladies. No, you cannot. It's just not a thing that happens. Now, granted, you are better at task switching, usually, as a general rule of thumb, than men are. But you can't multitask. It's just not a thing. Obviously, the whole concept of doing multiple things at the same time, it's a little bit, if you have slow internet at home and then you have a house party and all your friends connect to your Wi-Fi, you've just got too many devices connected to that one bit of supply, so the bandwidth to each is very low, which just means everything's very slow and suboptimal. Oh, the same thing happens to your brain when you're trying to do multiple things at the same time. If you're having to task switch very fast between things, there's always a bit of a buffering time, and so it's just suboptimal. Now, why do I bring this up? I bring this up because I see a lot of people in the gym still answering to work emails, still doing things. And I get it. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes it's happening. Work is popping off and you just got to do what you got to do. I get that. But if you can give yourself 45 minutes out of your busy day to focus on you, that will obviously have multiple benefits. Not just in terms of growing muscle, not just in terms of your performance in the gym, but also we all like to feel like work isn't completely drowning us. And if you can carve out 45 minutes, an hour to yourself in the day where you can get away from work and completely almost put work on the back burner and focus on you, obviously that's a good thing as well. Okay. Now, obviously the title of the podcast of the episode is mind muscle connection. And what does that mean? Well, it means you want to be fully present effectively in every single rep you do in the gym. Now, sounds a bit corny, sounds a bit almost like brain demanding. And it is at the start, I won't lie, but it gets easier and it gets better. And the whole point of mind-muscle connection is getting your brain to engage the target muscle the most effective it can. That's really the long and short of it. Problem is when you go to the gym and people working out, they have zero awareness of what they're doing. They're just moving from A to B. And that is obviously no good. And obviously, if we take a simple exercise, simple is relative, but if we take a standard exercise, a common exercise, for example, and let's say the bench press, there are a lot of people out there who don't know how to engage their chest whilst doing a bench press. And being that a bench press would primarily, usually, be used for chest development or chest stimulus, let's say. It's a bit of a problem if you're moving the thing and you're not able to fully engage your chest. And taking a second, slowing down every rep and thinking about what you're doing, actually consciously being in the moment, feeling, where am I feeling this rep as I push this bar up? Can I feel my chest? Can I squeeze my chest more as I'm pushing this bar up? Is the movement being driven through the chest? Is the chest generating that movement? That's really important, because what that will do over time, as always and forever, none of these things happen overnight, but over time, what will happen is you ingrain that pattern, that neuron pattern, let's say, that firing more effectively. It becomes less of a conscious thing and more of a, your body just does it. And naturally, that's where you want to get to, because if your body is just engaging more and engaging better and engaging more effectively without you having to expend a ton of mental focus, now we can start working. Now we can get cooking. Now we can add more weights to those reps, to those sets, to those exercises. We can shift more load, and more load equals better. Basically, there is no modifier to the better. More load equals better. That's it. Making sure that we've got this mind-muscle connection is obviously very important. Now, how do we get there? And a lot of people you talk to, they obviously, one, don't know what they're meant to be feeling where, when they do different exercises. That's number one issue. And then number two issue is maybe they're doing the exercise correctly, but they aren't feeling it. And there's a few different ways you can do that. And usually the easiest way to get people to feel a movement, to feel a target muscle, is by getting that target muscle very short. As in getting the 2 points where it connects on your skeleton as close together as you can. What that tends to do is often when the muscle shortens enough, you get a little bit of a cramp sensation. Obviously, then that's where you're meant to be feeling it. And then from there, you can build down to longer ranges of motion. And if you want a visual to what I'm saying, if you imagine you've got your bicep, like your wrist as close to your shoulder as you can, your elbow is really flexed and your bicep is really short and tight. Maybe your elbow's up a little bit, elevated. Your bicep muscle is really short. And then we can start to work into longer ranges where your elbow is starting to unfold a bit more, all the way until you've got this nice long range where maybe your arm is directly down or even slightly behind you, and then you're going into that bicep curl. Hopefully that gives you some visual of what I'm talking about. Now, slowing down tempo, I'm sure we've spoken about tempo before. I'm sure we'll speak about tempo again. But tempo is very important when it comes to this, because you don't want to be throwing stuff about. One of my favorite sayings is, you want to happen to the weight as opposed to the weight happening to you. So you want to be in control of that movement the entire time. And by you being in control of the movement the entire time, they'll obviously put more work in the muscle anyway, but you'll also allow you to start developing that mind-muscle connection. You allow you, because you're controlling it, you're focusing on it a bit more, which means those firing patterns from a central nervous system point of view, from your motor units in your muscle, like your muscle's ability to fire and engage deepens and becomes better. This also, just to circle back, but this will also help you switch off from work, because you're focusing so much on what you were doing, you forget that work is happening because you're in the moment. And we all like mindfulness and all these fun things, we are all meant to like these days. Mindfulness being the ability to be present in the moment, by you being present in every rep you do, you can assess, you can feed back to yourself. That rep was good, that rep wasn't good. I can improve this rep here. I can do that better. By you being present in every single rep, you are in effect practicing mindfulness. Big thing you can do that does tend to help is, and this is going to sound way hippie, get your crystals ready, people. You're going to do some visualization. Take some time before you lift to really almost visualize yourself doing the lift. Feel ahead of time the muscles you're going to engage. I know it's hippie, but what you're doing there is it all goes back to neuron firing patterns in your brain. You to move the right stuff, engage the right stuff. And there's a saying, neurons that fire together, wire together. Now, why is that relevant? We've all heard of the expression, oh, something's hardwired. Oh, Bob is hardwired to eat donuts. I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff. But the idea is that the more you fire a neuron pattern in your brain, the better the connection between the neurons are. They become, in effect, more hardwired. And why is that relevant? Because you can activate the same firing patterns by visualizing. So, if ahead of time you visualize, you're already priming your brain, your neurons, all the firing stuff that you're going to need. Maybe not your muscle so much in the sense of you're not lifting anything, but all the wiring behind the scenes is getting primed to do that movement. More muscle connection, more mind-muscle connection, more results, because you're actually putting the stimulus in the target muscle, in where you want to grow. If you're doing your bench press, you're putting that target, that stimulus in your chest, as opposed to, I don't know, your shoulders. Yeah? Just for clarification, of course, you still have shoulder stimulus and tricep stimulus in your bench press, just before the angry mobs come and devour me. Cool. And as always, guys, quality trumps quantity. Yeah, every single time. You're better off doing 2 hard, beautiful sets of great quality, of great mind-muscle connection, of great conscious activation of what you're doing, than 6 sets of just throwing your weights about and not doing anything. Weightlifting, the gym, it's the same as anything else. Meaningful work, meaningful, conscious, present work is better than mindlessly just going through the motions every single time. If you're not used to being in the gym, if you're not used to lifting weights, it can sound like a right chore. I get that. But it's what's going to help you improve. And listen, a lot of people I talk to on a daily basis go to the gym because they want an escape for their mental health, right? They are stressed at work. They want to go to the gym, lift some stuff. Awesome. Helps them unwind, helps them dump the stress of the day. Amazing. Now, you can compound that with some mindfulness by just being present in your lifts. And voila, you've got yourself stress relief from lifting heavy stuff and mindfulness. Hooray, hooray. We've compounded the mindfulness. We've compounded the mental health. Come on. That's what's up. Cool. All right, guys. I'm going to leave that there. So just as a quick recap, be present, Focus on what you're doing. Don't throw weights around pointlessly. If you find you've got too many things going on, listen, not every single day is going to be perfect, but as much as you can, try to leave your work stuff separate to your gym stuff, because this is where you can really get away. You can really do your mental health some good by getting a mindfulness practice in, by just dumping some stress, by lifting some heavy stuff, and truly just making some gains. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to spend the next 6 months in the gym and then look at themselves in the mirror and realize that they have not done anything. By being present, by doing the thing, you can achieve far better results because the quality of the work you're putting in is far better. As always, guys, subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, share the episode, and if anyone that would benefit from listening to this, just send them the episode directly so that we can spread the message. We can grow the number of people that are getting the Bruno goodness. Anyway, have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you all next time.